Léon at the Olympic School. Volume 3, The Challenge. Chapter 1. The sun rose gently over Palmaroux, bathing the campus in a golden light. The vast sports fields and stone buildings awoke under a new summer day. Léon Renart, now 14 years old, stood alone on the football field, breathless, his muscles taut from exertion. He had spent the entire summer here alone, training tirelessly. Léon had grown not only in size but also in maturity. Every day, he pushed his body to its limits, running kilometers, lifting weights, perfecting his shots and dribbles. The solitude didn't bother him. It allowed him to focus entirely on his goals. His friends, Élodie and Paul, had gone home for the holidays, but Léon chose to stay. Returning to his gloomy foster home made no sense. He knew this decision would give him a head start when they returned for the new school year. That morning, as he was sprinting on the field, he noticed a familiar figure nearby. Léa Legrand, a young athlete who had arrived at Palmaroux a year after him, was running on the track. Léon slowed his pace, curious to see what she was doing here so early. He remembered her as an energetic and determined girl, always ready for new challenges. Intrigued, Léon approached the track. Léa, absorbed in her strides, hadn't noticed him yet. She was focused, her face showing the same determination Léon saw every morning in the mirror. When she finally finished her lap, panting but visibly satisfied, Léon called out to her. "Are you always this serious during the holidays?" he asked with a smirk. Léa started slightly before smiling back. "You must be the famous Léon. I didn't expect to see you here. Yes, I try to stay in shape. And you? No holidays?" Léon shrugged. "Every moment counts. I have goals to achieve." Léa nodded, understanding. "Do you mind if I train with you?" Léon thought for a moment before answering, remembering how monotonous solitary training could be. Of course not. The more the merrier. From that day on, Léa and Léon began training together. Their daily routine became a synchronized dance of running, weight training, and dribbling drills. Léa, a year younger than Léon, strove to keep up with his pace, and Léon admired her tenacity. Their friendship strengthened with each training session, each pushing the other to exceed their limits. One morning, just as the sun was rising, they decided to have a penalty shootout. Léon, acting as goalkeeper this time, stood ready, knees bent, eyes fixed on the ball that Léa was about to kick. She stepped back a few paces, took a deep breath, and ran towards the ball. The shot was swift and precise, but Léon stopped it with a spectacular dive. Léa burst out laughing. "Not bad, Léon, but I'll score next time." Léon got up laughing as well. "I look forward to seeing that, Léa." Days passed and their friendship turned into true camaraderie. Léon increasingly appreciated Léa's company, finding in her an ally as passionate as he was about sports. They shared simple meals in the deserted cafeteria, exchanging stories about their lives and ambitions. One evening, as the sun was setting and the air was cooling, Léa asked Léon why he always stayed at Palmaroux during the holidays. Léon hesitated for a moment before answering, his eyes lost in the horizon. "I grew up in foster families," he said softly. "Palmaroux is the only place where I really feel at home. Here I can focus on what truly matters to me." Léa nodded silently, respecting her friend's choice. She knew that behind every great athlete, there were unseen sacrifices. "And you?" Léon asked the young girl. "Don't you miss your family?" "Of course," Léa replied, "but they understand my choice to stay this summer." As the new school year approached, Léon felt growing excitement. He couldn't wait to see Élodie and Paul again, to show them the progress he had made, and to discover what this new year had in store for them. But for now, he savored these quiet summer moments with Léa, grateful to have found in her a friend and training partner. On the last day of the holidays, they decided to end with a big tennis match, best of 3 sets. Léa and Léon were ready to give it their all. "Ready?" Léa asked, a smile on her lips. "Ready," Léon replied, determined. They launched into a frenzied match, their footsteps echoing on the empty court, the setting sun illuminating their silhouettes. At that moment, Léon felt more prepared than ever for this new school year. As the last ray of sun disappeared on the horizon, Léon smiled. The upcoming school year promised to be full of challenges, but also triumphs and new discoveries, and he was ready to face it all, with Élodie and Paul by his side. The morning of the first day of school, Léon woke up early, as was his habit. After a quick training session, he headed to the cafeteria, a broad smile on his face. He knew his friends would soon arrive. Entering the large room, he scanned the growing crowd for familiar faces. Suddenly, he heard a joyful voice behind him. "Léon!" cried Élodie, running towards him, her blonde hair flying behind her. Léon turned just in time to catch her as she jumped into his arms. "Élodie," he said, laughing, holding her close. "I missed you." Élodie stepped back slightly, her eyes sparkling. "I missed you too, Léon. How was your summer?" "Productive," Léon replied with a smirk. "I did nothing but train. I think I've made a lot of progress." Before they could say more, Paul burst in, his imposing figure framed in the doorway. "Hey guys," he called, waving. Léon and Élodie turned to him, their smiles widening. Paul quickly joined them, grabbing Léon in a bear hug. "You look fit, Léon," Paul remarked as he let him go. "You must have trained like crazy this summer." "That's an understatement," Léon replied, laughing. "But let's talk about you. How were your holidays?" They sat at a table near the window where the morning sun's rays flooded the room with light. Élodie and Paul began to recount their respective summers, filled with family adventures and well-deserved moments of relaxation. "I spent most of the summer at the beach with my family," Élodie said, her eyes sparkling with happy memories. "I also worked on my handball technique. I can't wait to show you my progress, Léon." Paul, on the other hand, shared his mountain hiking adventures. "I did a lot of hiking and weight training. It was great, but I really missed training at Palmaroux." Léon listened with interest, happy to see his friends back and in good shape. In the middle of their stories, Léa entered the cafeteria and spotted Léon. With a shy smile, she made her way to their table. "Hi, Léa," Léon greeted her. "Come sit with us." Élodie and Paul turned to Léa, greeting her warmly. Élodie gestured for her to sit next to her. "Nice to see you again, Léa. Léon told us about your training together this summer." Léa blushed slightly, but smiled, delighted to be accepted so easily into their group. "Yes, it was an intense summer. Léon helped me improve a lot." They continued to chat, sharing anecdotes and hopes for the year ahead. Léon recounted some particularly funny moments from his summer training with Léa, eliciting laughter from his friends. "And you, Léa?" Paul asked, leaning slightly towards her. "What are you looking forward to this year?" Léa took a moment to think, her gaze drifting for a moment into the sunlight. "I hope to continue progressing and taking on new challenges, and above all, I look forward to seeing what we can accomplish together." Their conversations were punctuated with laughter and jokes, and the camaraderie that united them strengthened with each moment. They shared a special bond, forged by the trials and triumphs experienced at Palmaroux. The cafeteria was now packed, and the excitement of the new school year filled the air. Léon looked around, taking a moment to savor the atmosphere.